Welcome back, League fanboys and fangirls, to another episode of Running Down Mid. As always, I'm Exile, and with me is my right-hand man, Funzy. Phenomenal weekend this last weekend, right?
I don't think there was a single day of the LCS that you should not have missed.
Yeah, so let's see. Let's review all the games. Yeah, they were all really good. Like, really good.
And action-packed.
CLG TSM was one of the best matches I've seen in a while, down to like a knuckle-biter. They had CLG crushing win first match, TSM crushing win second match, third match, back and forth, really good.
It seemed like they knew that they had to put all the cards on the table. They knew the only way they were going to beat them is if they tried to shut down the mid lane, and they were not taking no for an answer.
CLG was still not taking no for an answer either. With the Fiora mid win, I mean, that was that was pretty good.
You know that had to be troll pick.
Yeah, Hotshot even tweeted, my team's trolling me.
Yep. Had to be a troll pick. There was no way they knew to play Fiora into Galio mid for the win. That
I think they were doing what most people do against TSM. They throw up that one crazy team comp because they know TSM doesn't practice against it to help them ensure a win, and it worked. But man, that series was a really good series. Amazingly enough, you still have Envious sitting in a number one spot with only one loss.
3-1. They win 1-1 this weekend. Actually, all top four of the number one teams right now all went 1-1 this weekend. So we still have a big tie at the top.
So you still have CLG at top. You still have Envy at top. You have Dignitas up top, and then Immortals, which is crazy that those are your top four teams all tied for first place, something that we did not predict.
Nope.
Which is amazing enough. And then, you have TSM and C9 both sitting at 2-2, kind of rebounded this weekend, and both got their sweeps. But, man, for TSM, it was hard fought. Really, really good. C9 should not have beat Echo Fox. They straight up fell asleep at the wheel. If you would have watched like the first 10 to 15 minutes of those C9 Echo Fox's games, you would have switched them up because you'd been like, man, Echo Fox has 9 kills, 10 kills to 1, and are getting ready to get Baron. Click, turn off. But if you would have turned it off right at that Baron fight, flip-flop. Because C9 took the win, took the Baron, then marched right down mid.
Sometimes that call for Baron can
kill you.
Yeah.
Early Barons at 20 minutes to 20 to 22 minutes. I don't care if you're a pro or not. Really is hard to get done. It's really hard to get done. I know. I don't know why they keep doing these early Baron calls, because the death timers are still 15 seconds, 10 seconds. So really risky calls, and it cost Echo Fox big time. Their just late game is not coming together, which is why they keep dropping in the standings and then not playing Acadian.
That pick for jungle. You've got one of the hottest new jungles, super aggressive, works well with your team, just seems to be enabling your other lanes to step up and be as good as they should be.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with Froggen.
Yeah.
And you don't play him?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand.
It was weird. It was weird.
You have a sub, and you want your sub to get some time in the limelight, and week 2 is not a bad week to do it.
I guess, but Acadian is your brand new jungle, fresh on the scene, last split, and you're benching him to try a new guy out? That's gotta hurt.
Let's be honest. If you're Echo Fox, you can't give up a match.
No, you can't.
You need to win Summer to go to Worlds. You need that spot at the top to have either enough points or to guarantee you're going by winning.
Yeah.
So
a lot of these teams, that's what they're looking for.
You can't be giving up the early weeks, because there is teams like TSM, like C9, that they start out slow, but they build steam and become a force to be reckoned with.
That first Echo Fox game against C9 was what, 100? Was an hour and 9 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes. Like, that's a really long game. And their main focus was, man, hoping that Froggen can backdoor. If they had Acadian, I think that they would have. I think they might have been able to pull that one off. I really, for shame, Echo Fox for benching him.
Of course, we're talking about it in hindsight. That's 2020.
I know, but foresight, I would have said, who do you want in as your jungle? And this guy you don't know or Acadian? I would pick Acadian.
And Rick Fox, he tweeted that there's subs for a reason, and you want subs to get experience. And he comes from a strong sport background where
it's true.
You put in teams.
It's true.
You put in those players at the beginning of the season so that they can get experience, so that they can help you late in the season. And I understand. There's a philosophy to that.
I feel like a lot of these owners are trying to turn professional esports into like baseball and are wanting to get that closer. Got to bring that lefty.
I don't
in,
think they're
and
trying to change it into it.
It's just not working.
That's where a bulk of the experience to draw on for
it's just rough.
You have two different types of people. You have the born and bred coaches that came up that are still super young, that are all esports and have only been esports, and then you have the more experienced, non-traditional coaches that came over from other sports that are leading, like David Lim, at TL, that come from a sports background, which has its perks inside esports anyways. But it doesn't seem like when you're not a winning team that you should be giving up free wins or an advantage that
I agree with that wholeheartedly. And speaking of subs, everybody was sub galore. P1, bye-bye, Nori. Hello, Meteos.
Yeah.
Like, that was quick to flip-flop that bench, too. And I really enjoyed that quick little shout-out to Meteos, that second game where he's like, all right, boys, here's the game plan. Y'all got to carry me. Was hilarious.
So,
I loved
unlucky
it.
first game, but this game, new game plan. You carry me. And since we're talking about Medios, let's take a moment to congratulate him. It's his birthday today.
Oh!
So happy birthday, Medios.
Happy birthday, Meteos. The meme lord cometh.
Yep. So it's interesting to see, and like I said, it was an action-packed weekend that every day was great matches to watch.
So
there was no matches where you were like, oh, this is just TSM stomping this team. No, it was actually a very fair matches between every team.
Yeah, you had Impact come back and play in Ray champions like that Jarvan J4 up top. Yep. We finally got to see Zach play, and Zach play. That's why you ban him, because as soon as everyone saw him pop off, it was like, oh yeah, no, we got to go back to 100% banning this guy. So, I mean, really good all the way around. Next week's matches are coming up. The two that I'm keeping my eye on is Immortals, who's 3-1, playing against C9's 2-2. C9 wins, they get the tiebreaker and move to first. TSM is
I can't believe I'm saying this, but Envy versus TSM is going to be my most watched game this weekend.
It is.
Envy versus TSM. I'm saying it. Envy is still number one.
Envy 3-1 also playing against TSM, who's 2-2. And if TSM wins, they get the tiebreaker, and then it's back to normal with TSM and C9 sitting on top. But, man, who would have thought that TSM has to beat Envy to get a number one spot? It's just it's weird coming out of my mouth.
We live in strange times.
It's very...
We live in strange times.
I don't even know how you say that. Envy number one.
Yep.
Whew, I feel like my feet got a little cold because something just froze over.
So, we still have to talk about how Phoenix 1 is on the bottom right now. They still haven't clinched a win yet.
It's amazing.
We're week 2, and they've got a bot lane that can work.
Arrow, number one.
Yeah, number one ADC last
split.
MVP of the split.
You got Zig, you got Ryu, you got Meteos or Nori, either one. You got a good team. It
seems like they just need to get their act together, and maybe it's just they haven't had the right kind of practice, or maybe it's a lack of confidence on their part, but it seems like we're not seeing the play level we should see out of P1, and it sucks because I drafted a lot of them for my fantasy team.
I also picked up Ryu mid. I had to drop him for an EU player, which hurts the heart, but Jesus, Phoenix 1's just not getting it done, guys. And it was week 2.
And I'm still kind of disappointed in FlyQuest. There's too much experience and too much power there for them not to be showing up better.
What's really funny, though, is something that I didn't think was going to happen was Wild Turtle is popping off on FlyQuest, and he's actually landing Ash arrows, and I'm like this weekend he was literally 6 for 7 on Ash arrows, and I was like, he's never hit that many Ash arrows in a row, and it's a huge difference.
You know, right now, he's got like a little card that he carries with him when he goes to the LCS, and it says, you must do better than double lift, and he just keeps reading it to himself, like,
yeah, well, if that's the case, you are not, because double lift is popping off. That Ash arrow coming out of the pit on
saving the day.
Yeah, on who he was just ridiculous. His 10-0-5 that one match, like
didn't even clinch the win for the team.
Double lift is a man on a mission, and he is straight up crushing.
He's like, if I have to, guys, I'm gonna have to put you right here. And I'm going to have to carry you over that finish line.
For a guy that took the split off last split and his team won it without him.
Still hot.
Yeah, he's just like, hey, boys, climb up on these shoulders.
And
I'll carry you.
You can't talk about Double Lift's amazing performance without calling out Spin and his amazing performance. Everybody who talked crap about Spin from the first week had to eat their words in the second week.
Talk about crying in a soup. I lost fantasy this week because I benched Svenskeren because I'm like, man, he's just not living up to the hype. And he was my number one draft pick. The first guy I drafted, I had to put him on the bench. And then he racks up 60 points on my bench. Dang!
And gave me the win.
I don't know, so we're putting him right back into the lineup, and he better have another dominant performance. But he's been very consistent on his Lee Sin, and his Lee Sin skills are getting bigger and better.
And the teams are going to keep him off of that.
Lee Sin doesn't get a lot of nerfs. He's used in the global scale, the worlds. So Sven getting better on that character is a good thing for TSM. It's a hot thing, hot commodity.
Well, since we're talking about fantasy, let's go ahead and give a quick rundown of fantasy. And I have to say, there's one person that we have to talk about. The one EU player that just seems like he's not going to take no for an answer. And it's crazy because he's still on top. Sven is just killing it on G2.
He uses Finn. Not Svenskeren.
Yeah, sorry.
North America.
Sven with the Z.
From G2.
Yep.
He's
77 points.
Crushing it. So
77
if you boys are playing fantasy, I'm telling you, if you have an EU guy that has one matchup, just one,
even though G2 had two matches,
and
he earned those points himself.
Yeah, they have a high win rate. So say he's on Fnatic, G2, H2K, and they're playing like Vitality or Rocat or Ninjas in Pajamas. Like, then pick those guys up because you're going to get double the points. And it seems like every match these guys are getting 60, 70
and
fantasy
they're
points.
They're fighting nonstop over there. If anything, it's like EU took a page out of NA from last season and was like, not slower gameplay. Let's pick up the tempo.
Well, a lot of people like Doublelift in NA have said that this is an engaged meta, and there are fights galore. I mean, you watch CLG and TSM, and it was team fight after team fight after team fight after team fight.
Especially game 3 when it came down to the line.
Lord, like these guys would not stop fighting. Like, we just got wiped. You know what we should do? Team fight again. And it's like,
we almost had it, guys.
And then they get wiped. Then they get wiped again, and they're like, just 12-second death timers. Back to the team fight. It's like, what is this? So I'm telling you, pick up those EU players that are only playing one match, and they're on a heavily favored team like Fnatic, G2, H2K, Unicorns of Love, all solid picks, especially if they're playing like Rocats, Vitality, Ninjas in Pajamas. You're gonna get easy points out of it. So I recommend it. Also, flex picks. If you're not putting an ADC in your flex pick, you are wrong, because even people like Wild Turtle are getting 50, 60 points a week.
You really need to be putting the ADCs in there. I mean, some people like to play mids or put a jungle in. You're not going to get as many points if you're not playing ADC.
Yeah.
So
flex pick, ADC always. It doesn't matter. Even if he's a bare buckets ADC, heck, I'm sure that there are some leagues out there that don't have anybody on Envy picked up right now. 2 of Envy players are like top 5 point getters, like Apollo and stuff. So, pick them up. Don't worry, I already picked them up for our league.
You can have them. That train is coming to a halt this weekend. Coming to a halt this weekend.
We'll see. And then I guess we'll move on to the last bit, which is 10 ban systems out.
It's been a week.
And as I'm sure everybody knows, Yasuo banned like crazy. If you're a bronze, silver, or gold scrub, we don't like to play those Yasuos. Ban that cat.
He's actually banned across the board in every game that's happened since the 10-ban system became out. Half the games, almost half the games have been banned in. And
highest ban rate.
He's getting something crazy like 90%,
in
90
bronze.
Plus in the bronze to silver, and that is just like the death of a champion.
Which is crazy, because if anything, you play against a Yasuo because he has to come into you. He can't escape. I would ban other assassins.
He can escape if he's got a wave behind him.
If he has a wave behind him, but if he doesn't, man, you just CC, throw that Thornmail on, and you could beat a Yasuo. Katarinas, though, I would ban her.
I'm with you.
That's a number one ban. You ban those Katarinas, and I would say ban those Sorakas, because banana heals are ridiculous.
I'm more of a Lulu myself, but yeah, she's getting there. I get you. Yeah. Another thing I want to touch base on before we go to the BM of the week, the new SKT skins. I mean,
looking good, right?
That Olaf skin.
So yeah, so skins progressively have just been getting better and better. Seems like each skin that drops,
especially
is
last
hot.
year. Alistair's skin last year, so good.
Yeah, so you have all these new skins that drop, but every one of SKT's new world skins, even the Coma Vision Ward skin, looks hot, man. They look great. I'm gonna pick them all up. Not gonna lie. Right, take my money now. Yep, totally gonna get them.
Totally worth it.
Yeah,
totally
definitely worth it. They look sick. They look really, really good.
So that's gonna be it for this week.
That's it.
Looking forward to TSM showing off against Envy this weekend. Maybe C9
C9 and Immortals. I gotta bench all my Immortals players and put some C9s in because we need them to win, boy.
So we're gonna leave it with the BM of the week.
Yep.
Good game.
GG. Yep.
Everyone, my name is David Freak Turley, and joining me is a man who thinks he can criticize the LCS when he can't even win a game in Challenger, Mark Zimmerman.